Welcome back to Tales and Treasures. I'm your host, Mr. Almeida. And here we go again with my opinions that nobody asked for. To cap in 2022, in the third week of January 2023, I decided to talk about my top 3 relaxing narrative games I've played this year. Last year. First up, this is The Police. It has a really cool comic book look to it, and the model city is quite beautiful to look at when all the police cars are going back and forth. However, the biggest hook of this game, in my opinion, that nobody asked for, is the narrative and the old-timey narrator style. You're playing as this older police captain in 1985, and you'll have to make decisions on not only about the day-to-day stuff in the precinct, but also regarding the mayor of the town, the mafia, and other factions too. There are several A and B and probably C and D storylines happening in this game, even though it feels pretty simple. Mainly, you decide what 911 calls you send patrols to and how many officers they require. That's the relaxing part of the game. Just answering the calls, listening to the music selection the captain has. Funny thing about that, you can spend the captain's salary on getting more albums to listen to, but there's no achievement even if you buy everything. I'm annoyed by that. When you send in officers, you also need to consider how many professionalism points they have. If you send in bad cops, it's more likely that they fail and lose even more points. If you mix them up, you can get the lousy ones better in time. Also, there are murders and robberies, things of that nature. And they require detectives. They send you photos of the crime scenes, and your job is to figure out the chain of events to close the case. And some of them are really hard to figure out. But that's just part of the fun. Also, like I said, it's a pretty simple game. And I thought to myself, this could easily be available as a mobile game as well.
Funny fact, it is mobile game.
Huh. Well, more you know. The ending can be a bit frustrating. I'm not gonna spoil what it is exactly, but it does make me feel really dumb. Even dumber than usual. It feels like you need to be a master strategist not to fail, and the game hasn't really done that much to make you more prepared for it. And in the end, all the police officers you have put all your time and money into, they don't even factor into the finale. Also, I got emotionally invested in some of the officers, and it sucks so much if some of them die. In the game, there are different choices you make, and those result into different endings. However, I wish there were more endings. It's a bit disappointing. Yet, I'm on my 3rd playthrough right now. I'm not gonna go too much into the specifics, so you can enjoy the game too. But indeed, it is a fun little game with an interesting narrative, and the day-to-day stuff in the precinct is just so relaxing. I never knew I wanted to be a police captain. I still don't, but I can play one, and so can you. There's also a sequel with a completely new story. However, it doesn't have the same narrative style this first one does. Instead, it focuses more on the strategies and tactics of arresting the bad guys. Next up, Golf Club Wasteland. In the previous game, we went into the past, but in this one, we're gonna go decades into the future. Doesn't exactly state what year it is, but the nostalgia radio in the game is talking about nostalgic stuff from 2030s. So, you know. In the game, mankind live on Mars, and some people come back to Earth, which is a radioactive wasteland, to play golf. So you play golf in different side-scrolling stages, and the narrative and the history of the world is revealed to you in two ways: the nostalgia radio and the diary of the character you're playing. And if you get good scores in your golfing, you get more entries in the diary. Also, the post-apocalyptic scenery is really awesome. Combined with the unfolding story and the super fun achievements, I just love this game. However, the gameplay of golfing itself isn't anything especially special. But because I'm not too bright or good at games, it does give me a bit of a challenge. Making the golf shots by thinking about the angles and how to use specific amount of force isn't exactly something I'm good at. Still, I've had good times playing this game. Enough so that I actually ordered the physical edition of the game. So, what did you think? Have you played any of these games? Did you get excited about any of them? Let me know down in the comments. Oh, you were expecting 3 games, weren't you? Whatever gave you that idea? Well, I was gonna. And you might be asking yourselves why I didn't. Well, it's because I can't be bothered to do even the bare minimum.